UFC Perth. This is the weigh-in recap show, full card predictions, and the betting breakdown. Looking forward to talking about each of the matchups on this card after seeing the fighters on the scales. So make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Turn the post notifications on and make sure you share the video too. And also note, I'll be live for the entire card Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Don't miss the fight companion. We did have a fight cancellation. Justin Tafa, ill, not fighting. Louis Sutherland weighed in, was ready to go. It was also my underdog lock for the card, but canceled bout. It is what it is. We'll have to make some magic happen with a little replacement underdog during this video. Also, yesterday, Oban Elliott, Jonathan McKelliff off. We went from 16 fights to 12 fights real quick for UFC Perth, but it is what it is. Still got some fun matchups, and I want to jump into things. The ladies started off. We have Loma Lookboonmee versus Alexia Thainara. I like Alexia Thainara a lot in this matchup here. She has a ton of upside right now. Only one UFC fight, but an impressive finish on a big stage against Molly Meatballs McCann. First round sub, easy money. Okay, Alexia Thainara is a Hebos family prospect. She's got a really sound ground game, but it's not just grappling. She's not a one-dimensional grappler-only stylist. She's actually a pretty mobile Muay Thai striker. She's got good head movement, a unique rhythm to her stand-up game, always keeping the head on the swivel with some knockout power and a really sound grappling game. I like her chances against a dangerous striker in Loma Lookboonmee, but I think a girl that she can outmatch with the physicality advantage, the grappling edge, and even some of the elements of distance striking. Now, I'll give credit where it's due, though. Loma Lookboonmee deserves some love for her punch combination speed. She's got fast hands, and she has really gnarly kicks. And you can see the emphasis on the true Muay Thai skill set of her game. In a lot of recent matchups, though, we've seen Loma have an ability to outmuscle and outgrapple girls alongside of her quality stand-up game. In this matchup here, she's at a big size disadvantage, which is not necessarily commonplace, but happens a lot for Loma Lookboonmee. But not just size. Also, we have a dangerous stand-up fighter in Thainara and an exceptional grappler in the side of Thainara, who's a high-caliber athlete alongside of having skills. Big power in her overhand shots, heavy leg kick game. I gotta tell you, I think Thainara is pretty ready for a Lookboonmee. She does bring the chin up a little bit as she throws at times, but I don't think Lookboonmee is going to have the power to put her away. Lookboonmee, to be real with you guys, she is a women's atom weight, 105, fighting at 115, because that weight class doesn't exist in the UFC. If there was an atom weight division, shit, Lookboonmee could be in the top 5. Maybe she's number 1, but it's straw weight. And Thainara is a bigger straw weight with a good frame and a well-versed skill set. And I think she can take out the incredibly skillful Muay Thai practitioner in Lookboonmee with a more MMA-based game plan and even some success in striking. Now, we'll check out the ladies on the scales. We got Loma Lookboonmee up to bat first. She kind of looks like the villain from the Karate Kid remake in this one right here. But listen, she's ready to go. Very Thai-esque. She looks like a Thai fighter. Looks like a 14-year-old Thai savage, all right? You see these in Thailand. Granted, I'm not saying she ain't a chick, but I'm just saying she's got the look of it. You know what I'm saying? Truth is, I'm cracking jokes. Loma's terrifying. I don't want to get kicked by her, but I feel as though a matchup against a Thainara, crazy Brazilian girl, this is where we run into trouble. She likes doing this bird stance. I don't know exactly what it is. She reminds me of that Mortal Kombat character that had that illness that the face gets all disformed and shit. The princess. I don't remember her name from Mortal Kombat, but you know who I'm talking about. And she normally wears the mask. That's exactly the look here, man. We might have to check her for that illness. My God. The mouth is wide open. One of the larger mouths in the world, to be honest, Alexia Thainara has. So if it ain't fighting, it's Guinness World Records for probably like eating apples whole and shit. There's the face off. She's with the bird person thing. Gives a little bit of a demonic vibe, to be honest with you. But I think that translates to fighting success against the Buddhist of Loma Lookboonmee. So we're going with Thainara. I believe she's too well versed, and you know, I'm messing around a lot, but I'm confident in my call in Thainara with mouth wide open, getting a violent W. She could just bite the head off of Loma Lookboonmee if she chose to. Jesus. Minus 232 for Thainara, plus 197 Lookboonmee. I lean towards a Thainara decision, though I will give credit where it is due. Very capable jiu-jitsu game. Not crazy about the over here, but I would say Thainara, moneyline parlayable. Obviously, Thainara to win by decision, plus 115. Makes sense for like my most likelihood of success call. But I will say, you know, plus 250 sub is there, but it's not degen enough to bait me in. If it was, you know, 6-1 or 8-1, like a knockout, maybe it's like, hey, Thainara by sub, even if I think decision, even though Lookboonmee is hard to tap, maybe I'm just not feeling it. Looking towards any of these, not crazy about the spread side. Just curious if it had any significant strike stats or takedowns. I'd say takedowns will favor Thainara. I don't know. If you like a Lookboonmee spread to make it close, I don't think you're nuts for thinking she wins around here. But I feel like Thainara's got an edge, and she seems like the prospect to watch. Lookboonmee's good, and she's on a roll, 4 fights in a row, but the Estela Nunes fight wasn't great. Now, fair to Estela Nunes, she's deceptively good at stand-up, a lot of kickboxing experience. But, you know, Lookboonmee had more trouble than I feel like she should have against an Estela Nunes. And I think Thainara is a serious gap jump between that. Yeah, it's 4 wins in a row, but I don't think it's win over the prospect we're looking at in Thainara. Thainara for the W, big size edge, physicality edge, and the skills to pay the bills too. And she's crazy. So that's another good call. Next one, we got the big boys going after it. We got Brando Peričić versus Elisha Ellison. Elisha Ellison is really a small heavyweight, probably could, if he wanted to, cut down to light heavyweight. 6 foot, 78-inch reach, weighing in at 236. On the opposite side, we got a guy who's 5 inches taller, only 1 inch in the reach, but he's going to have a good 5-ish pound weight advantage here at 261. Brando Peričić is a large heavyweight, and I think that he's got a big power edge in the stand-up. It's not that Ellison doesn't punch hard, but I think Peričić is the more crisp, but it's not just technical striking that's pretty like an Ulberg from the outside. It's like precise danger in close range. Peričić has a good mauling style, violent and close, violent with punches in, you know, clinch, and then violent with elbows and knees to the body. On the ground, he's aggressive. He's a straight finisher. The guy is the type to go for the kill, and that's why he lost this fight here against Randall Raymond, because he went for the kill early, ends up getting subbed in round 2, but he had that dude badly hurt. Seems to have a true God-given gift of power with pretty developing ground game, I would say. Ellison's a bit of an unknown. I mean, he's took on some mids, but not that, you know, Peričić has fought savages, but another element of Peričić, he's got a rugby background. Obviously, if you follow the channel, you know my boy Paku, who's a longtime subscriber and member, is actually a friend of his, and he spoke highly of him. And then watching tape, I was impressed. So I'm going to believe in the city kickboxing prospect, and I'll cheers to it. I think we see Brando Peričić get a finish in this one. I think that he's dangerous in all areas. And as long as he can stay off his back or avoid his back getting taken, I think he's good to go with a striking edge. Ellison does have a decent bounce and some wild overhands, and he's, you know, still a full-size heavyweight. But skill-wise, I think Peričić sharper with the size advantage. That should be enough. And it's not like he can't grapple, you know? Holy fuck, Tai Tuivasa's fat as shit. Where is my boy Brando Peričić? Let's check him out here. There's Brando Peričić weighing in. Looks pretty intense and ready to go. Faith-based fighter. He's got the cross around his neck, ready for violent warfare. I'm looking forward to this debut of his. Then we got to find our guy, Elisha Ellison, who right here is, you know, in decent enough shape. He's a thick boy for sure. I really think he could make 205 if he decided to really push the weight cut, because damn, bro, 6 foot heavyweight. He's right on the cusp. You know, I'd say he's undersized for the weight class. Let's look at the face-off between these two. Let's see what we're looking at. When you see the face-off, you'll see the size difference is pretty vast. But to give credit where it's due, Ellison, like a little bit thicker with the muscle tone in the arms. But I think Peričić should be all right, man. It ain't a physique contest. And Peričić with a good size advantage. My God, the cauliflower of cauliflower ears on the side of Elisha Ellison. Dude looks like he's got tumors growing out of those damn ears. Let me tell you, I do think there's a chance that he tries to grapple. I think you will be surprised by the resistance on the other side. When you got a big dude like Peričić who hits hard, you probably want to take his ass to the ground. And I feel like Peričić is going to have a refined takedown defense game working with City Kickboxing that should be good enough to handle. So Brando Peričić to win is going to be my pick. Now he's a minus 240 favorite, Ellison plus 205. It's a UFC debut on both sides. This fight was actually supposed to be a contender series fight. We get it in the octagon. Anticipate violence. Under 1.5 is minus 220. Probably a fast-paced fight that's live to end earlier. Peričić by knockout, minus 160. It's just never a good look to chase that. Even if it hits, right? Minus 160. It's not great. Where can we make money? Peričić by sub? Listen, he could win by submission here. I know he's a violent finisher, but club and sub is live. Peričić in round 1 plus 125. That's very live, I think, as well. Peričić, most significant strikes, minus 200. Peričić, KO or sub, minus 185. I'm going to go with Brando Peričić. I think he gets a knockout. I think it is live in the first. I mean, he'll go a little longer. The question is really around the octagon jitters. But then there's the flip side of, how's Elisha Ellison feeling? Flying across the world to take this fight. He was supposed to be at the Apex, and now he's in Australia. We shall find out. I'm going with City Kickboxing Zone. Next fight on the card, we got the ladies going after it once again. Luana Carolina versus Michelle Montague. I've been picking the side of Michelle Montague to go out and win. I believe the grappling should be a pretty substantial difference maker. Luana Carolina's deceptively good, though. Like, I can't just sit here and shit on Carolina. She's got decent punches, good straight shots, solid teep kicks to the body. Honestly, like, kind of fast, too, and awkward as shit. A very herky-jerky stand-up game. On the side of Montague, I will say her weakness is striking from what I saw. I wasn't blown away by the stand-up. I thought it was a little bit stiff, little bit upright, and chin comes a little bit high even. Now, Carolina, not known for big knockout power, but if she's stopping takedowns and landing clean shots, she could end up, getting Montague to be a little bit gun-shy on the takedown attempts and, mixing up strikes. Like, Carolina is not completely out of this fight. She's been in the UFC a long time. And she has a good record. She's won 3 fights in a row. So there's definitely some, upside on Carolina. But then when you look at Montague, it's like absolute grappling savagery. All her wins are by sub. She's a strong wrestler, good clinch work, good strength on top position. The stand-up is just a red flag. Thankfully for her, Carolina's not a power hitter. But if Carolina is stopping takedowns and then Carolina's ripping combos, you don't need a knockout to win a decision in kickboxing. So we could see Carolina end up pulling some weird shit off. Not saying that happens. I'm picking Michelle Montague, but you have to keep it a buck. There's a red flag around it because she is making a UFC debut against a veteran on a win streak. And not only is it a veteran on a win streak, it's a girl with an awkward stand-up style. I do think we're going to see Montague land takedowns. I do think Montague imposes her will. And I feel as though either a decision or a submission are live methods of victory. Yes, she's submitted everybody she's fought so far. But, to be fair, it's PFL opposition. Abby Montez beat Clarissa Shields in MMA. That's kind of the biggest win on paper that she has. She's a 31-year-old prospect. She's at American Top Team. I feel like she's got to be getting good rounds in. It's a great gym. I feel like they refine quality prospects. And I do think in her debut, she could get past Carolina, but it could be a bit of a test. I don't know for sure if I'm saying it's a walk in the park. If it is a walk in the park, then this girl's a problem. She does have aura for sure. Really good shape, coming in ready to go. The blondie with the blue eyes, very marketable for sure. And then we got Luana Carolina on the opposite side. Let's see where she's at. Luana Carolina, chilling, man. She gives me grandma vibes. Very grandma vibes from Carolina, man. Very much so. Let's see the face-off between the ladies, all right? I will say, too, holy tummy tuck, My God, Montague is fucking lean, bro. Tiny waist on her as well. She's in damn good shape. What's the biggest lie of this fight? Michelle Montague is listed at 5'9". She looks the damn same height as Carolina, who's 5'7". So the height stats seem like a damn lie. These two are about the same height. Montague, obviously a bit more muscle mass, more of the grappler's build or the MMA build, whereas Carolina has that skinny striker's build. Carolina's normally decent at stopping takedowns. We've seen her taken down. You know, she got knocked out by Molly Meatballs. I know I'm not predicting her to get knocked out here, but Montague should handle business. At 135, Carolina should get out muscled, taken down, and I'll say probably submitted. Now, Montague's a bit of a favorite, minus 242. Carolina sitting at plus 207, underdog status for the UFC veteran. I mean, she's a good sized dog, but that doesn't mean go out and fucking attack it just because she's a dog. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's Luana Carolina. You really want to throw it down on her? Is that the girl you want to have faith in? Hard for me to say such a thing. Now, looking towards any props, let's see. Montague to win by submission is plus 140. Montague by decision plus 190. I think Montague wins, but it's still a debut. Montague most significant strikes plus 110 is live. Montague most takedowns definitely live at minus 1400. Fuck the spread. I'm going to say Montague handles. I do think she could submit Luana Carolina. I think she could outmuscle her, take her back, choke her out. It's just, it's a UFC debut. We don't know for sure. She really does look like the girl from Kangaroo Jack. You know the one I'm talking about, guys? The one that played, I don't know what you call it, the chick that was out in the fucking desert. I don't know. The one from the movie. She gives that vibe too with the Dundee hat. So Montague for the dubs is what the pick is going to be. And I think she should win her UFC debut. It's a winnable fight. It's just, you know, a lot of experience on the opposite side of Carolina, and she's awkward. So if Montague can't take her down and they're caught kickboxing, that's where I worry. But she should be okay. Next fight on the card, it's Colby Thicknesse versus Josias Musasa. Colby Thicknesse is my pick in this fight, and he's an underdog that I've liked all week. He's taken on a powerful guy in Josias Musasa, but a Josias Musasa who I think has a really questionable fight IQ and is a tad bit overrated. Now, of course, his UFC debut, big upset loss, kicked in the head and choked out by Carlos Vera, but he was close against Tanzalovi on Contender Series. Got a lot of KO wins outside of UFC, but lower tier opposition he's putting to sleep. Like, yeah, he's got power, of course. And if you know, hits you hard in the face, you're going to feel it. But it's still 135. Like, you know, him putting Thicknesse to sleep, I just don't think that's likely. Thicknesse is a prospect with, you know, Team Volkanovski. I really feel like Colby Thicknesse is ready. His UFC debut was worst possible circumstance, short notice against Alexandre Topuria. We don't know how good Topuria is. Obviously, Topuria got a win over Thicknesse. His brother's amazing. Does he have an ability to be a top contender like his brother, or is he the dud of the family? I don't think he's the dud of the family. I think Colby Thicknesse is just good, and that's why they went a full 3, and it was an okay fight for Thicknesse. You know, he put up a decent effort. He has some strong body kicks, good kickboxing with a lot of speed, moves really well, and he's a strong grappler. He's technically better than Musasa, all areas. Technically better in all areas. But Musasa has that southpaw power, dangerous southpaw, big straight left, big right hook, big overhand left. Like, there's danger if Thicknesse is slugging on the feet, but at 135, he's going to get dusted by Musasa, who couldn't get a KO on Contender and then lost his debut, whereas Thicknesse ran it to the fucking breaking point against a guy in Alexandre Topuria, who's the brother of a future Hall of Famer. Like, I get it, it's not Alexandre, but how good is Alexandre? We don't know yet, and Thicknesse made him look average. So even though Thicknesse lost, I'm taking a lot of positives away. I think Thicknesse is ready, man. I like Thicknesse a lot as the underdog pick here. Since the underdog lock is out, I like the replacement lock Thicknesse around plus 130 to fill the shoes real well, and I feel like he's going to handle business against Josias Musasa. Where's he at? Where's my guy Thicknesse? Let's check him out on the scale. Let's check these savages out. Will the real motherfucking Slim Shady please stand up? His aura jumped since he shaved that goddamn mustache. I got to tell you. I got a feeling. I think it was destiny. Sutherland is out. Thicknesse now replaces him with the lock status. There's Musasa. Musasa looks jacked. He looks intense. I mean, listen, Musasa's a power hitter. He's in shape. He's an athlete for sure, whereas Thicknesse is just, I think, a better martial artist. There's the face-off between the two. There's no jokes I got for this one. Like, obviously, the Slim Shady joke, I'm fucking around. But it's all business with Thicknesse. I think he's ready, man. Blue chip prospect, one to watch in the weight class, and I think he can get past Josias Musasa. I like Colby Thicknesse's chances. Potential finish coming in for him too, but betting-wise, fuck it, bro. Just give me the Colby Thicknesse money line. Money line for Thicknesse, plus 133. I think he can do the thing. Minus 153 from Musasa on the opposite side. And then looking towards, let's see. Over is plus money. Wow, so a finish is anticipated. I could see Thicknesse on the cards, though. I think Musasa, he could survive. What's Thicknesse by sub, though? Thicknesse by submission. 6-1 for a sub line? Thicknesse by KO plus 750? That's crazy. It's 6-1 for sub. Decision win for Thicknesse plus 275, but the fight's expected to end by finish. Thicknesse has got 2 KOs, 2 subs, 3 decisions. He can win in a multitude of facets. What I do see happening, fuck the props, is a money line Thicknesse cash in. So I like Colby Thicknesse to get it done, man. He handles business, I believe. Most significant strikes, Thicknesse plus 160. I do think he can win that. I'm going Thicknesse, man. The spread on Thicknesse, if he makes it close, will be live as well. But I think Thicknesse wins. I don't know why he's the underdog. I've been questioning all week. I'm like, why is Thicknesse opening up at plus 250? What has Musasa done to deserve that? I don't get that. I don't understand that. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think that Josias Musasa is athletic and powerful, but overrated, man. What has he proven? A Tanzalovian? Okay. Oh, but Thicknesse, he didn't fight at that level. Oh, he didn't. I get it, but and again, it's like he's a Volkanovski prospect. He's got a great mind that he works with. 26 years old. Both guys 26, but I think Thicknesse is pretty good. I'm going Thicknesse at home in Australia, getting the upset win. And I don't think it's an upset. I don't think he should be the underdog. I'm picking him. Next fight on the card. Lightweight's going after it. Jamie Mullarkey versus Rolando Bedoya. I mean, it's a battle of mid-tier guys. Both guys are on the chopping block. I think the loser of this fight probably leaves town. Bedoya is younger at 28, so you could argue improvements coming. He hasn't fought in a year. I don't know with Bedoya, though. I mean, he gave Chaos a good fight in his debut, but then, 2 straight losses after that, even though he probably should have won the damn, Chaos fight. But regardless, lost 2 fights after. He's a weird one for me. He does have a pretty scrappy kickboxing game. I've been picking Mullarkey all week, okay? So I just got to let you guys know. If you didn't know, I've been picking Mullarkey. But I hate a Mullarkey pick because he's chinny, man. And he's got no fucking head movement. He's just a walking red flag. Looks like a goddamn real-life Frankenstein. Bedoya has fast low kicks, scrappy punches in range, but a little short on some of his shots. He does get like hyper fixated on these big punches, which I think is a bit of a problem. He doesn't really throw good jabs or crosses. Really, it's power shots. I mean, if he attacks the legs heavy and lands an overhand, he's live to chin Mullarkey, but Mullarkey could out-grapple him. And Mullarkey could definitely win striking exchanges. Mullarkey is a weird one because it's like, yes, he's lost 2 straight, but it's Houfi and Nasrat. And he took a long layoff, which I think is a positive for a guy getting chinned back-to-back in less than a year. The McDessie win's okay. Naimov lost. He was winning the fight. Prado win is fair. I think Jamie Mullarkey could pull it off like the Prado win. Like, when Mullarkey's on, he's not bad. It's just he's been fucked up by some guys that are actually good. I don't think Bedoya is good. I don't think Bedoya is good. That's what it comes down to, and that's why I'm picking Mullarkey. It's not so much confidence in Mullarkey. It's that I really think Bedoya is mediocre. There's Bedoya weighing in. Dude's skinny, bro. Somehow Bedoya is skinny fat with abs at 155, man. Interesting build, bro. I swear to God, bro. He needs a different strength and conditioning plan. You got to get like fucking Tafa over here. My God. My God, Tafa, bro. Tuivasa. I'm calling him Tafa. That's the disrespect. That's how he's looking now. I'm forgetting his goddamn name. My God. Got me sidetracked over here, rambling. And then we got Frankenstein on the other side. We got Jamie Mullarkey with the furrowed brow, ready to fucking go to war. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. I mean, Bedoya looked tall. I'll give him that. Mullarkey just like a grumpy old man. I'm going to go Mullarkey. I think he can pull through, but Bedoya does have long arms. He can punch a bit, but he could get out grappled. I'm just not impressed by Bedoya. Nothing he has done has impressed me in the UFC, aside from the debut, and then it's like he looked worse since then. I think Mullarkey can find a way to keep his career alive, especially at home in Australia. Minus 126, Mullarkey, plus 106, Bedoya. Fuck the betting odds. I wouldn't go out and bet. Not on this fight. There's no point. Like, there's way better bets to make than Mullarkey or Bedoya. Two guys that might not even be UFC caliber, really. Over 2.5, minus 175. We could go under, bro. Mullarkey by decision, plus 170. Bedoya KO, plus 300. I don't care about this fight. Most of his strikes, Mullarkey, plus 145. It's the battle of mids. I feel like Mullarkey wins by a little bit, but if he gets knocked out, I don't want to hear like, oh, I told you so. Like it's such a Mystic Mac call. Like I'm fucking telling you, Mullarkey's the chosen one. I think that this fight can go either way, but I lean towards Mullarkey having more weapons and Mullarkey being better at grappling, and also Bedoya just really showing nothing in the UFC. Like at least Mullarkey has UFC wins. Bedoya is 0-3. I'm going to go with Mullarkey at home too. And the home advantage is a factor. Next fight on the card. Andre Petroski versus Cam Rowston. Cam Rowston for the W. I'm going with the battle giraffe to handle business here against the strong grappler, really pinner. He pins you down and holds you, Andre Petroski. I like Cam Rowston. I feel like he learned a lot from the Therese Finney loss, who's a good, top control grappler. And he had a couple moments there. I picked him as an underdog a month ago against Brandon Holmes, and I felt like that was too easy of a pick to make. Cam Rowston is solid. He's a city kickboxing prospect with dangerous striking, a good ground game, definitely improving takedown defense. I swear to God, they have been working his takedown defense like crazy. He's got a really solid long jab and a pretty good striking flow overall. Power in his hands and also good timing on his shots. You can see the city kickboxing influence in his style, but he's good at striking in all ranges. And he's good on the ground. He's got more submissions than he does KO. 7 wins by sub. On the side of Petroski, he's this like big beast, he intimidates you. Petroski is the intimidation factor, but my God, he'll shell up. If you start letting some offense fly and back him up, he'll turtle up. To the body, you can get him. He's weak to the body. I'm telling you, man. If I'm Team Rowston, kicks to the body, knees to the body, even fucking punches to the body against the cage. If you catch Petroski to the body, you melt him with that. The body has given out on him before. And last fight, he got dropped by Shabazian with body shots. He ended up going the full 3. God bless him for doing it. But I just think Cam Rowston can pull through. I think Cam could even knock him out. Rowston's ground game is solid. Like Petroski could take him down, but he's just going to hold him. He's going to have to smother him. He's going to have to pull a Therese Finney. I don't think Rowston gets Therese Finney'd again. Therese Finney, 5'6" with that crazy jack build, somehow pins people. A little bit more height on the Petroski side kind of eliminates that pressure. It's not just like a cinder block. It's a little more elongated. So it's not as heavy in one area. And still, Rowston did a little bit of damage in that fight. I think Cam Rowston's gotten better too. I think Cam's going to pull through. I'm going with Cam Rowston to get the hand raised. I think he'll look pretty solid here, outstriking Petroski, stopping his takedowns. And if he subs him, my God, that'd be a pretty cool accolade. Andre Petroski, bro, that's one jacked commie right there. My God. Dude's built like a fucking freight train. Holy shit. And on the other side, we got Cam Rowston. Shit, bro. Thin, scarecrow-like. Looks ready for warfare. In shape. Let's look towards the face-off. Let's see. Looks like the goddamn Slenderman at the face-off. Look at the height difference. Cam Rowston is 6'3". Petroski's 6 foot. I don't think Petroski's 6 foot. Maybe in fucking heels, bro. Petroski's a good 5'10". Maybe 5'10.25", I'll give him. And Cam Rowston, maybe he's actually 6'4". Big height difference between the two. I like Cam Rowston stand up. I don't see him getting bullied around. Bro, Petroski is never really that impressive in his wins. Like, okay, out kickbox Adolfo Vieira, a jiu-jitsu ace. Oh, but he beat Tresean Gore. Fuck that. It's Tresean Gore. Grinded a decision against Budka. Grinded a decision against Josh Fremd. Rowston, He's going to pull through. I think he's better than that. I'm going with Cam Rowston for the victory. I think he's a good underdog here. I'm going to pick him to get his hand raised. Odds for the fight, Cam Rowston, plus 165. Wow, almost the same as at open. The lines were closer throughout the week, and now I guess some love is down on Petroski. They think he's going to pin down Cam Rowston. I don't see him just grinding out Cam Rowston. Hell no. I'm going with Cam Rowston underdog status, all right? We're going with the Savage Dog. We're going with Cam Rowston at plus 165. I think he can win, guys. I think he's a decent underdog. KO for Rowston is 5-1, but it's definitely possible. What's sub for Rowston? Same 5-1. It's going to be hard to tap Petroski, though. Petroski not easy to sub. Petroski never been submitted as a pro, but yeah, he did get submitted by Brian Battle. That's interesting. I forgot about that. That was Ultimate Fighter, man. Brian Battle showed him fucking levels on the ground. But since then, I mean, no submission losses in the UFC, but damn, he does get knocked out. And his wins have not been impressive to me lately, whereas Cam Rowston has upside. And, you know, he's the native son. I'm going with Cam Rowston. I think he pulls through. I think he's live to pull off a knockout, too. Anything else catching my eye here? Not really. Well, yeah, Rowston as an underdog. You could go, if you want to chase a knockout or sub prop, God bless you. Or you want to go Rowston inside distance. If you're like, yo, I think he gets the finish, you get plus 235, 245 range. But the money line at plus 165 is a pretty nice tag. And I think he goes out there and handles business. So Cam Rowston for the W. I think his striking looks nice here. Petroski throws heavy bombs and wide shots, but he's really not a good striker. And his power is overrated. A little bit slow with his hands. Very like bodybuilder-esque tightness. But good on the ground, heavy on top. But Rowston should be okay. I'm going to go with Rowston. Next fight on the card, our featured prelim of the night. We have Navajo Stirling versus Rodolfo Bellato. I've been picking the side of Navajo Stirling all week. I like Navajo Stirling's chances a lot in this spot. I think Navajo is going to show Rodolfo Bellato that he is the prospect to keep an eye on at 27 right now. UFC debut was sophomore appearance, third round was tremendous. And I think now his next UFC fight, this one, all right, come round number 7, I think Sterling's putting it together. Navajo has the city kickboxing stand-up style, picks his shots really well, is technically sound and makes good reads. It's not like he's just gunslinging wild shit. He's a city kickboxing guy with knockout prowess, and he has really clean strike technique with high-level movement. You can just see the skills in his stand-up. Really good right hand, left hook combination, which I like, and also really sneaky elbows in close range, especially against a guy like Bellato, who's like a heavy pressure plotter style, who's just boom, 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 stomping his way forward, wants to get in your face. I think in close range, those elbows that Stirling could land. Bellato is not really defensively sound. He'll throw caution to the wind a lot. And we've seen him dropped. I mean, technically, he's been dropped in all of his UFC fights, if you include the Paul Craig no contest. Illegal up kick or not, he didn't really get dropped. He faked it. But, you know, good acting on his part. Jimmy Crute dropped him after fucking him up in round 1. And sure, it ended up being a draw, but, you know, it is what it is. UFC debut, comeback win over Potieria. Potieria dropped him bad in that fight. Even Mirza Talha gave him trouble on Contender, and then Petrinos knocked him out twice. I think Navajo Stirling can find that Bellato chin. I think he's got the precision striking to do it, man. And I think Navajo keeps getting more and more comfortable inside of the octagon. And now they do it in Australia. Obviously, he's from New Zealand, but that part of the world, he's going to have comfortability. Doesn't have to worry about flying across the damn planet, okay? I think there's a lot of net positives for Navajo Stirling in his third UFC fight. And I think this is the fight where finally people are like, oh, I see why he was really hyped up after Contender Series. I think he's going to catch Bellato with some big shots, and I think he's going to put Bellato out. Bellato's going to want to get on top of him and throw ground and pound. I think Sterling's takedown defense is going to be sound. I think he picks shots nicely and finds some heavy counters, and I think he's live to put Bellato to sleep. I think he's got the precision to do it. I'm going Navajo Stirling to handle business. Let's look at the fighters on the scales. This is another one, straight business fight. No jokes right here. Navajo Stirling, shredded as fuck, ready for violent warfare. Dude is in great shape, and I'm telling you, he's a great prospect right now. He really is. He really is blue chip. Really is blue chip. And let's find our guy on the opposite side. Rodolfo Bellato weighing in good shape too. No red flags around Bellato. He looks ready to fight. And listen, he brings it every time. It's just I don't think he has the skills for Navajo. It doesn't come down to the fitness element of it. Size between the two is similar. Obviously, Bellato a little bit thicker, Stirling a little more shredded. Stirling going to be quicker. And I think this third UFC fight is the breakout for Stirling. I think people are going to say, oh, fuck, when he puts hands together nicely here. So Navajo Stirling to put Rodolfo Bellato away sounds pretty live to me. As far as the odds, minus 260 for Navajo Stirling, plus 220 for Rodolfo Bellato. Looking towards, any props, obviously, money line very live, obviously parlayable. I'm going to say under 2.5 is pretty live. It's minus 152. Do think KO is live for the side of Stirling as well, or ends inside distance at 2-1. KO for Stirling, not great, plus 105. Thing about Navajo Stirling is he does make his reads pretty well. If you look, he does have, the 2 KOs in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, and then he does have 3 decisions, but, 2 of them inside of the UFC. I think he could end up getting a, second or third round KO after making some reads on Bellato. Not that he couldn't drop him and put him out earlier, but Stirling has a high fight IQ, and I think he's going to have more calm than ever fighting. It's just, Bellato puts himself in the line of fire so much that, we might see a first round knockout. Stirling, most significant strikes, yes. Most takedowns, Wow, widespread on that one. I'm going to go Navajo Stirling to get a knockout here. I think Navajo's a pretty good pick. He's a good prospect. Good timing on his shots. Dangerous with both hands. Dangerous with all 8 of his fucking weapons, which I like a lot. And I think Rodolfo Bellato, a little bit too hittable, man. Wild, brawling pressure, strong on the inside, likes to beat you up with ground and pound. But can he get Navajo there? I think not. I'm going Navajo Stirling by violence. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card. We have our main card opener. If you guys are watching and enjoying, make sure you guys hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the show. Make sure you subscribe it up. We got Tom Nolan versus Charlie Campbell. I'm picking Tom Nolan. I believe in Australia's native son. Listen, Charlie Campbell is powerful, and yes, he has knockout ability, but you have to look around yellow flags. Hasn't fought in a year and 5 months, coming off an injury, and taking this fight on short notice, traveling across the globe to do it. Now, he's replacing Evan Elder. I know he's done some training with Evan Elder, so I guess that's an element of the fight that you can view as a positive, but different style, but similar style, to be fair. I mean, both guys throw hard shots. Maybe Elder a little sharper in boxing. Campbell a little crazier with his onslaught. Campbell is a violence-first style. Definitely a guy with big punching power and fast punches in range and killer instinct. I mean, when he has you hurt, he's absolutely going to go for it. And he has a ground game, too. Tom Nolan is more precise, though. He's more of a technically sound striker with a good jab, moves fairly well, follows it up with a nice straight down the center line. Also, southpaw, which is a cool element to this fight that I like. I could see him landing some big straights. Good teeps to the body, good leg kicks. Pretty good ground game as well. Technically, just a sharp blade as far as his striking goes. And every time we see him fight, I think he's getting better. Also, I'd say he's got a sub-threat from the front headlock position in this one. I feel like Tom Nolan can beat a Charlie Campbell. He could even potentially knock him out. Nolan's got some real power. Underrated punching power with the side of Tom Nolan. In a really well-rounded and fine-tuned game. Yes, he's been dropped in UFC fights. Yes, he got knocked out. Nicholas Mota's fucking power, okay? Last time Charlie Campbell wasn't blowing me away against Trevor Peek. The Alex Reyes fight in his debut was awesome, but the Trevor Peek win was mad. It's been a year and 5 months. Chris Duncan, he had him hurt, but then he ended up getting knocked out, and that shows that he'll throw caution to the wind, and regardless of what you think about Nolan's chin, he can counter shot pretty well, and he could land a big straight here. So I'm going to go Tom Nolan to beat Charlie Campbell. I think he can get the finish in this fight. Could end up winning a decision, too. Showed, I think, a pretty sound fight IQ in his last one against Slava Claus. Out kickboxed him. I thought that was impressive. I picked him there, and I'm going to pick him here. I like Tom Nolan's chances. I think it's easy to be doubtful because you look at his debut and kind of just hold that against him. But recognize he was like 23. Now he's 26. He's coming into his own, and I think he's ready for this spot. There's Charlie Campbell. You know what? In shape for sure. Looks ready to go. Charlie Campbell looks solid, man. No negative notes about him. Hey, Tom Nolan's got some aura, though. Tom Nolan looks ready to go. And let's look at the damn face-off between the two of them. All right? Let's look at the heavy face-off between these savages. Let's see what we're looking at here. We got the fucking Tom Nolan sloth-like demeanor consistently. And then we got A little bit of the metrosexual look for Campbell with the eyeshadow on. Just jokes, just jokes. I know he's trying to channel his inner road warrior. I see that shit on his Instagram too. He likes to play into that heel with the spiked up shoulder pads and shit. Doesn't have the shoulder pads here. Maybe he should have brought them out. It would have worked better for the heel. But regardless, you know, all games and bullshit aside, I think that Tom Nolan is going to be the better fighter. And I think Tom Nolan can win at home in Australia. And I think he can look pretty good and continue to build some hype on him right now. He's on a good streak in the UFC. Since the last fight of Campbell, Nolan has had all of his UFC wins. So minus 148 for Nolan, plus 128 for Campbell. Nolan consistently showing signs of improvement. I'm going to believe in that. I'm going to say he handles business. Now, looking towards this fight, over 2.5 plus 155, it could go distance. Nolan to win inside of the distance is plus 125. Obviously, if you're on Campbell, you like him by KO, it's 3-1. Let's see here. Most significant strikes, Nolan, minus 150 live. Most takedowns, Nolan, plus 180. Interesting. I think Tom Nolan's a sharp stand-up fighter, man. Over 40 in the significant strikes. I lean yes. Tom Nolan's good, man. He's got good striking awareness defensively. I get it. Oh, he got knocked the fuck out by Mota. But who doesn't get cracked by Mota? He's a heavy-handed savage. I'm going to go with Tom Nolan to show the improvements in this fight. I think Tom Nolan wins at home. I'm going with the native son. I'm going with Nolan. And I like that the short notice replacement is a similar style to his original opponent. Next fight on the card, we have Jake Mathews versus Neil Magny. I'm picking the side of Jake Mathews. I have been all week. I really believe Jake Mathews has finally hit his stride in the UFC. I mean, his past 5, he's 4-1, beat Darius Flowers, lost a good fight against Michael Morales, beat Phil Rowe, beat Francisco Prado, an easy work of Chidi Bang Bang last time. What do you see, though? 2 guys in Chidi Njokuani and Phil Rowe with very similar frames to Neil Magny. Obviously different styles, but literal copycat frames, like, you know, copy and paste type shit. I feel like Jake Mathews' boxing is underrated. He's got good punch combinations, especially in close range, like rips 3 to 4 big shots and lands with accuracy too. I like his left hook and his overhand right a lot. I say that his striking defense is good. And like, I just feel like he's just simply a good fighter in all areas, in great shape, and has hit his stride. I mean, he joined the UFC as a fucking teenager, man. So he was really young on the roster, right? Now, getting some confidence, putting it together, 4-1 in his last 5, taking on an aging Neil Magny. And Neil Magny, who, you know, he's got a win last time against Zaleski nearly 2 months ago, but it wasn't looking good. He was losing, and then he got a comeback, and Zaleski just quit, and, you know, Magny got on top of him and beat the shit out of him. 2 finished losses before that. Winning against Mike Malott. He's losing the whole fight. Malott sells at the end, and that was nearly 2 years ago. And then Ian Gary beat the shit out of him 2 years and 1 month ago. I think that Jake Mathews should get the W here. I think he's on a roll right now, and I think he's finally hit his stride inside of the UFC. Since becoming a Muslim, he's putting it together, man. And I think he's going to go out there and do pretty damn good. I'm going with Jake Mathews to get the W against the longtime UFC gatekeeper in Neil Magny. And this is the fight that, you know, could potentially break Jake Mathews into a top 15 slot. Let's get Jake Mathews on the scale here. Let's find my guy. Where's he at? Where's he at? There's Jake Mathews. Calm, cool, collected. That's what you get. You get true stoicism from Jake Mathews each and every time. And I respect that about him. And on the opposite end, we got Neil Magny somewhere around here. There's Neil Magny, the unk that still got it, flexing out on us fools right here. Smile on his face. Listen, Neil Magny's happy to be there. He's happy to still be on the roster. He's happy to still be getting paid, and he's happy to still be throwing down. Obviously going to have a height and reach advantage, but not something Mathews hasn't seen before. And I think Jake Mathews is live to finish. I think Jake Mathews could be live for a submission here. Face-off don't really matter. It is what it is, right? Obviously, we knew Neil Magny was a lot taller and longer. I'm going to go Mathews. Minus 350, the money line. Magny plus 285. He has wide odds. I guess the Magny bait has worked because the odds were wider, and they've come down. There seems to be some love on the Magny gambling side of things. Over 2.5, minus 140. But listen, Mathews has a lot of submission wins, and it's only plus 275 for the sub for good reason. If you look at Mathews' career, he has 9 subs. He got more KOs, or excuse me, more submissions than KOs. He's got more submissions than any other method for himself. I think he could submit an older Neil Magny, especially with the quick sub last time against Chidi and Jakawani. He's starting to really find his flow. Mathews, most strikes, most takedowns. Okay. Over 41 live, over 1.5 takedown live. He's a big favorite. He's a big favorite for a reason. I think Mathews goes out and pulls through. He's live for the sub as well. At minus 350, yes, he's a fat favorite, but it's about picking the fight and picking the winner. I think Jake Mathews should win. He can land some good shots in range. And you know what? Even his loss to Michael Morales, right? There's net positives. And I know I'm waiting for it. Oh, but what about the Matt Semmelsberger fight? It's a long time ago. Yes, it sucked. Yes, that sucked. Semmelsberger's best performance, Mathews' worst. It is what it is. You look at this one, Michael Morales fight, like he started putting it together and he's been looking better each and every time we see him. I really think Jake Mathews has his game flowing. And like, I'm not joking when I say he's been in the UFC forever. Dude joined the UFC all the way back in 2014. He was on the fucking Ultimate Fighter as a 19-year-old, okay? He was a baby inside of the UFC at 20 years old. All right. He's been fighting for a long time in the UFC. Yeah, he was still 19 in his damn debut. Jake Mathews has grown up in the UFC. And I think at 31, he's hit his prime now. And I think he's going to beat Neil Magny, especially an aging Magny on his way out. Next fight. Featured fight. Jack Jenkins versus Ramon Taveras. I've been picking Jack Jenkins all week. Ramon Taveras is a bantamweight moving up to featherweight. Okay, Kelvin Gastelum. He comes in heavy. He comes in heavy for a fight up in weight. I got to put that up, though, to potential jet lag, travel issues. There's like red flags around it. How the fuck does he not make weight at 146, man? How's he weighing 147 for this featherweight fight after he's coming up from bantamweight? Like, did he just not take the diet serious? I don't understand what went wrong. Miscalculated weight cut, you can say it all you want, but this should not happen. You shouldn't move up in weight and then miss weight. I think that Jack Jenkins is better than him. Ramon Taveras can box, though. Like, I got to give respect. Ramon Taveras has some big shots in range, rips heavy punches. He's got decent combos and close, big hooks. Southpaw hitter with hand speed. Does have a solid jab, too. He's a boxer, 100% a boxer. Jack Jenkins on the other side. Nasty low kicks, stance switch hitter, better kickboxing. I feel like he's got pretty solid hand speed as well. Good straights down the center line. Picks his shots nicely with pop, I'd say. He's got some power. His high kicks are really dangerous. I mean, he dropped Gabriel Santos last fight with one, and Gabriel Santos is a fucking blue chip prospect at 145. I think Jack Jenkins can win this one. I think whether it's a decision or maybe even a finish, like I think he should handle Ramon Taveras. Now, Southpaw stance for Taveras. Expect some switches to Southpaw from Orthodox for Jack Jenkins to attack that calf a little more efficiently because Jenkins is good at it. And we've seen Taveras chopped up at the calf before. So I think Jenkins should go there. Yeah, I don't know with Taveras, man. He could end up getting knocked out. I'm leaning towards Jenkins head kick KO. I know it's like a crazy Mystic Mac call, but I do think it's live for him to get a knockout in this spot. Taveras' chin, a little questionable. 2 of his 3 losses are first-round KO losses. Missing weight. I don't know what's going on. Ramon Taveras, man. I think that we're going to see Jack Jenkins go out and win. Let's see the scales here. Jack Jenkins, he did need the box, but made weight without issue. Looks pretty good on the scale. And let's see here. Where is our boy Ramon Taveras, who missed weight? Missed weight, up in weight. Where is Ramon? It's like, where's Waldo? We got to find him over here. There he is. Ramon, Lil Masvidal, Taveras. He really gives me Masvidal vibes. And shit, miss a weight and then losing this fight. There's a chance he's fighting in, I was going to say Masvidal's promotion, but potentially they see him doing boxing in Mike Perry's promotion after this. There's a face-off. He does look to be a full-size featherweight, a little bit taller than Jack Jenkins. You would never think that he was a bantamweight. They're the exact same size. Obviously, a little body fat there. So, you know, not in the same shape as Jack Jenkins. And, you know, I think that pays dividends throughout this fight. I'm going for the guy that's more dialed in, fighting at home in Australia with some upside. It is what it is. He got some L's. It is what it is. Taveras coming up in weight. You never know. I mean, you could have like a whole resurgence of his career and then he fucking misses weight. I don't even get it, but it is what it is. Plus 236 for Ramon Taveras. Minus 276 for Jack Jenkins. I'm going with the Jack Jenkins side. Jenkins for the W. Over 2.5 is -180. Looking towards the side of Jenkins by KO plus 225. Jenkins by decision plus 125. I think Jenkins just does more throughout the fight and outstrikes him. Over 64.5. I don't know. The 64 is a little high. I'd rather be like 50. Takedowns, maybe. Jenkins dominant decision, maybe. I think Jack Jenkins wins. I think he could get a knockout too. He could threaten with kicks and punches up high. I think Taveras could get chinned. Yeah, Ramon Taveras is missing weight to red flag. But I will say, Ramon Taveras is like deceptively good with his hands. He's got some power and shit. Missing weight, like, I don't know, could end up having an edge, coming in full and strong. Then next thing you know what we see, like Ramon Taveras is actually a certified gangster at 145. But I'll favor the native son, Jack Jenkins, to handle here. I'm going Jenkins for the W against Ramon Taveras. Next fight, co-main event of the evening. Jimmy Crute versus Ivan Erslan. I've been picking the side of Jimmy Crute throughout the week, but with the caveat that if you are thinking about gambling in this fight, you could actually live bet it and see after the first round. Because if late first round, Erslan stops some takedowns, gets up to his feet, landed some punches, we've seen Jimmy Crute melted before, okay? We've seen him melted before. Things go his way, he gets you down, he subs you, or he knocks you out with a big flurry, God bless. But he has been melted before. Now, he is right in the resurgence. He had the draw with Bellato, but a great first round, and then easy win against Marcin Prachnio 2 months ago. Ivan Erslan's never won a UFC fight. He won the 3rd round against Iwan Cutelaba. It was not a split decision. It was a unanimous decision. He clearly lost. And then he lost to Stirling and got dropped bad in that 3rd round as well. I don't know with Jimmy Crute, though. He's a walking red flag, but seems to have finally found his stride mentally. He's really aggressive. He's got powerful hooks and, like, will throw power shots and, like, overthrow his hooks at times and leave himself available for counters. Because, like, he really overcommits. Like, you know, he'll throw and, like, throw through it, and he's all the way over here. Like, you can find shots on him as he's ripping these wild shots. It's just Erslan, like, yeah, he has some heavy hands. He can box a bit. He's got a good hook. He's got a nice overhand. He's pretty precise with his boxing, light bounce on his toes when he rips his shots. It's like, he just doesn't let shit go. Like, watching Erslan, it's like, all right, is he going to go? Is he going to go? Where is it? Where is it? He's got 3-round cardio. Jimmy Crute might not have as good cardio. Crute's going to be the better wrestler, the better grappler. Erslan's probably the better boxer, but he could definitely get caught on the feet too. Crute does have power. I feel like Jimmy Crute just got the athleticism and the grappling advantage alongside of just the craziness to him. Whereas Erslan, where's his confidence? He's 1-3 in his last 4 fights. He's 0-2 in the UFC. I think you got to go Jimmy Crute. I think Jimmy Crute can win. I think he's live to win by finish. I mean, it does feel like a bit of a toss-up with Erslan, which is odd, right? For a guy who's 0-2 in the octagon and been trading, you know, win-loss. If you look back, look, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, loss. So it's not like he's got the greatest resume ever. I mean, was he 2-5 out of his last 7 fights? 1, 2, 3, excuse me, no. 2-4 out of his last 6. Okay. 2-4 out of his last 6 ain't a good look, though. And losing outside of the UFC, too. I feel like Jimmy Crute can win this one. Grappling skills are better. I think you can get Erslan down. More of a submission finisher, too, than like a Cutelaba. And he does have knockout power. It's just, you know, if he gets overzealous, especially at home in Australia, does he get counter-shotted? But on the flip side, his confidence could be crazy high fighting home in Australia, that we see just like a breakout performance for Jimmy Crute where everything's working like it did against Prachnio last time. And he's really well-versed with submission victories. I mean, if you look at his resume for subs, armbar win, right? Kimura win. Obviously, he got punches against Bukauskas, punches here. He's won by arm triangle. Like, he's got a dangerous sub game. It's not like he just has rear naked chokes. He attacks limbs too. And I don't think Erslan is, you know, invincible or unable to be submitted in that area. So I think Jimmy Crute should go out and do pretty well. But, you know, caveat of you never know. After round number 1, you don't know where Jimmy Crute's head's at. There's always red flags. Let's look at Ivan Erslan weighing in. Ivan Erslan, I'm telling you, bro, he could be Volkan Uzdemir's cousin. He's straight business. Seems like a real-life hitman. to be honest. That's the energy you get from him. Just calm, cool, collected, ready for warfare. He's scary. He's a scary dude. And we got fucking Jimmy Steve Irwin Crute on the other side, looking in shape. Some real Crocodile Dundee type shit with the mullet, representing Australia right, though. All right? And I think he's going to handle business. I do. I think he can win this one. I think he's got to win this one. Erslan, he's got, what confidence does he have? He's got no UFC wins. There's the face-off. Like, Erslan looks scary. You look like the intense dad with, like, the wild young kid he's about to fight. Absolute Australian redneck, I would call it, as a Florida man. All right, let's see. Any other good screenshot from the fucking face-off? Anything catch my eye? We just got a little closer, a little more intimate up close. Both look confident, both look ready, but I'm going to say Erslan can. Is that Andre Petroski in the background? Is that Petroski on the side there? Guy kind of looks like him, right? I feel like we're going to see Crute. I'm going with Crute, guys. I'm going to pick Crute for the W. Minus 220. I get it. You want the underdog. I get it. But it's fucking Erslan. He hasn't shown shit to me. Plus 185 for Erslan. Let's see. It's a me, Mario. Excuse me. Let's see. Over a round and a half, minus 125, maybe. What's Crute ITD? Minus 125, Crute sub, plus 235, Crute KO, plus 235. Betting side of Crute is just not appetizing, but I'm picking it. And if you want to bet the other side because of that, okay. I don't know, though. I like the fucking after the first round live bet idea more. I think that's a solid idea. Like, see how the first round looks. If Erslan gets submitted in round one, all right, you're thinking, God, all right. But then, you know, if he stops a couple takedowns, Crute starts wilting, Erslan starts letting the hands fly, it could be a decent attack on an Erslan live, especially if he loses that first round. Obviously, Crute most takedowns minus 1,000. To be fair, though, Erslan could hit a takedown here. Erslan over half a takedown. If it goes longer, he could hit this at plus 450. Erslan got a little bit of takedowns in the arsenal. Over 21 CFS strikes could definitely happen. Over 31 for Crute could definitely happen. I'll pick Jimmy Crute, but gambling on him just seems like a danger. But I do think he could go out there and look pretty good. With Erslan, it's like you have hope. With Crute, it's like, I know he's a finisher. I know he starts fast. And I know he gets crazy and makes mistakes. But I also know he can win UFC fights. I don't know if Erslan can. Co-main event pick, Jimmy Crute. Next fight, main event of the evening. If you guys are watching and enjoying, make sure you guys hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe it up. We got Carlos Ulberg versus Dominic Reyes. And I've been picking Dominic Reyes as the underdog all week to go out and handle business against Carlos Ulberg. I really believe Dominic Reyes has a true fighting chance in this fight. Couple of reasons here. I like his stature. 6'4", 77-inch reach. When Ulberg can punch him, so can Reyes. Now, I will give credit to Ulberg. Better lateral movement, better footwork, right? And I'll also give credit to better striking from distance, specifically with kicks. Dominic Reyes is better in punching range. He has faster punch combinations, and I do believe he does have more power. Though Carlos Ulberg has some nice knockouts on the UFC roster of guys that he's beaten that are kind of meh, he puts people away at times, and he's got a good counter check hook, and he's got timing on his strikes. But I really feel like Reyes has the true power punch advantage and really good hand speed. Dominic Reyes is one of the quickest punchers in the damn light heavyweight division, bar none. When Reyes is on, he's one of the best in the world. You look at Ulberg's only UFC loss, it was to a southpaw and Kennedy Nzechukwu. Obviously, it's a very different fight, and this is years later, but I think Reyes in close range could have some success. Another element is if Ulberg puts him in a tie clinch, I do think overhand shots from Reyes could land on that Ulberg chin. And Ulberg's chin getting tested by a true power hitter like Reyes, we don't know how it's going to hold up. Is he ready for a 5 full rounds? And I'm going to tell you another element of this, especially after weigh-ins. I truly believe that Carlos Ulberg is overlooking Dominic Reyes. He is falling into the trap of looking at those 3 losses against Jan Blachowicz, world champion, Yuri Prochazka, world champion, and Ryan Spann, when he's on, terrifying power puncher, and he landed a perfect shot early. He's looking at those 3 and saying, fuck, I can do this. I think that Carlos Ulberg is lacking respect for just how good Dominic Reyes can be when he's at its best. And truth be told, Dominic Reyes himself has said he was in his head When he was on that 4-fight losing streak, obviously the Jones fight he could have won. That was a great performance. But the 3 fights where he lost bad, he admitted himself he was trying to change things and do things different. He was all in his head of why things went wrong. And now he's like, fuck, I just had to do what I did against John Jones. Like, that works for me. Let me just stick to what I'm good at. And we've seen that with the 3 straight violent victories for him. I really think Dominic Reyes is back. He left mentally, but physically he's always been there. It's not glass chin Reyes. It's not Dominic Reyes doesn't have it no more. Dominic Reyes just needed his head back in the game, and I believe he has it. And I think Carlos Ulberg's a bit cocky and overconfident. I think he looks at this as, this is my showcase chance. City kickboxing, New Zealander, fighting in Australia, not at home, but essentially at home, near home. Dominic Reyes flying across the damn world for this. This is what the underdog story is made of, man. This is why we watch this fucking sport. For the underdog to rise up, especially one that's had such a tumultuous downfall and climb again. I believe Dominic Reyes can make this a dogfight. Now, of course, Ulberg from distance is effective, but Ulberg can be a point fighter, and Reyes can push a pace, and he can put Ulberg in uncomfortable positions back towards the cage and trap him towards certain corners and then let big punch combinations fly. He could knock Carlos Ulberg out in this fight. And I think Dom Reyes, whether it's a 5-round war or a knockout, I think Dom Reyes is going to be the guy that gets the hand raised as an underdog. And I think knockout is live. I think a nice left hand can land. I think an Ulberg gets over aggressive looking for a finish, he'll get caught with a big straight left. And Dom Reyes is good. He still got it. I like Dom Reyes to pull through. They're sleeping on him. The bookies are sleeping on him. The world is sleeping on him. I think Dominic Reyes is still got some juice left. Now, looking towards the scales, yes, Dominic Reyes looks, mediocre on the scale. Not shredded. Little chub. But this is just his build. It's how he looks, man. Dom Reyes ain't no fucking male stripper like Carlos Ulberg was. There's shredded up Ulberg. Looks ready to go. Intense look in his eye. Of course. He seems to be gleaming with confidence, at least at the damn weigh-ins. But Reyes looked tall. They were both wearing shoes for this. I double-checked. Reyes looked tall. All right, Reyes looked in his eyes intense. Like, yo, you just met a fucking fight. This is your match now. This is the guy. Dominic Reyes is the guy. Dominic Reyes is the savage underdog pick. I don't know. What's the replacement? Is it Louis Sutherland's replacement? Is it Thicknesse or is it Reyes? Up to you guys to decide, really. I'm picking both. I think both are live. I think both are good bets. Reyes, you're getting more upside with the plus. Thicknesse, you're getting upside with the Volkanovski team and Musasa not being all that. I really feel like Dom Reyes can win this shit. And honestly, though I said earlier it's Thicknesse is the replacement, I feel like you can flip a coin between the two. So get your coins out. You're going heads Reyes, tails Thicknesse to pick which your savage underdog is, because both are really here to fucking win. And I really think Dominic Reyes in this main event can give Carlos Ulberg a fight that he has yet to see. And I love that southpaw stance. I love that intense look in his eye. Reyes had nerves around him, but it was good nerves. It was the nerves of a man that knows his career relies on this fucking moment. Look at that intense look in his eye. You tell me that's not the fucking definition of eye of the tiger he's got for this one? Bro, I think Dom Reyes is ready, guys. I think Dom Reyes is ready. I'm going with Dominic Reyes as a dog, plus 210. Dom Reyes to pull through in the main event over Carlos Ulberg. Minus 250 for Carlos Ulberg. Looking towards some of the other things. Over 2.5 plus 115. Maybe it could go under. What's Reyes by KO line? Reyes by KO, only plus 350. That's not crazy. Reyes money line is the best. I'll fuck the rest. Fuck chasing anything else, man. Could Ulberg catch him? Of course. Reyes wins. There's no via punch. We got elbow, kick, knee. Should just be via punch, man. They should give that option. Reyes most significant strikes plus 160. Reyes most takedowns plus 105. Reyes KO or decision plus 225. I like. Over on significant strikes 44.5. Live for it, but it could end earlier. Could definitely be a calculated pace fight throughout the first couple of rounds, then starts picking up as we hit round 3 or 4. And like, really, I think Reyes could put Ulberg in untested territory, or uncharted waters, I should say. I like Dominic Reyes' chances, guys. I'm going to pick Dom Reyes in the main event. I'm sticking with my call, and I'm feeling damn good about it. I think he pulls the upset off. The hand speed, the punch power, and the fact that he's been in these big spots before, and he's got his confidence back. A Dom Reyes who believes in himself is a Dom Reyes that can do great things in this game. And I think he's passing the Carlos Ulberg, the unproven Carlos Ulberg test. Yes, he beat Jan Blachowicz, but an aged Jan coming off injury and layoff. And he beat him by a close decision that people felt could have gone the other way. I thought Ulberg did just enough. Beat Volkan by a decision, okay. Alonzo Menafield, it's Menafield. Dawoon Jung, he subbed him. Ihor Potieria, it's Potieria. Reyes is on fire. Jacoby's a glory kickboxer. Anthony Smith was a corpse. And Nikita Krylov had never been chinned like that. He'd been TKO'd once, but he never got finished like that. And he put Nikita Krylov out easy and ended his career. Now Krylov's like just taking the fight against Gushkov and laying down for money. Dominic Reyes to pull through is my pick for the main event of UFC Perth. I'm going with the eye of the tiger. I'm going with Reyes. Now, those are my full card predictions for this card. I do want to talk about parlays. Obviously, some things have to shift, but, you know, Mathews Stirling is still there. Mathews Nolan is still there. Sterling Peričić, if you want to go for, you know, the city kickboxing two-leg. Mathews Sterling Thainara. Mathews Sterling Nolan. But where shit hits the fan is the Sutherland underdog call goes away. Fight gets canceled. Tafa pulls out. This sucks. This sucks, man. I said earlier, Thicknesse as a replacement. I said later, it could be Reyes as the replacement. It's like, I don't like to make a replacement because I called my confident call as I did on Wednesday, feeling however I felt about it. Now, I look at that parlay with, you know, Mathews, Sterling, and Sutherland, and I think if you wanted to play it a little different and you still wanted to keep that type of parlay alive, well, you could go with the likes of Mathews, Navajo, Sterling, and then do you want to go the main event? Are you going Reyes? It's plus 449 if you did. Now, if you believe that Kobe Thicknesse, blue chip prospect, pulls through, it's plus 332. You can replace it with either one, or you just throw both in, and now you got D-Gen territory, Mathews, Reyes with Sterling and Thicknesse at plus 1217. Now we're going D-Gen money. But I'm just explaining to you how you could shift things without the Sutherland line on there. Obviously, Mathews, Sterling, Nolan, and Peričić goes down because of the McKelliff and Elliott fight getting canceled. How can you spin that one? Well, let's spin it for you. Let's spin it for you. If you still like Brando Peričić, you could go Peričić and then throw in the likes of Alexia Thainara, then with the likes of, you know, Navajo Sterling, who I believe's in it. Let me make sure I'm looking at it right. Jake Mathews and our boy Tommy Nolan. You got plus 527 if you replaced it with that. Similar. Remember, you're betting on Peričić, you know, red flag around the fact that it's the UFC debut. If you didn't want Peričić, but you like Nolan, Mathews, Sterling, and Thainara, plus 318. If you're like, yo, fuck it, man, I don't trust that Nolan durability, you think it's a red flag, you can see at plus 153, Mathews, Sterling, and Thainara. Obviously seems live. I already have it up there. I like that one a lot for a big three. I think it makes sense. If you like the underdog in Thicknesse, now you got plus 508. If you like the underdog in Reyes, you got plus 673. If you like both, you got plus 1755. If you also are like, you know, I'm kind of feeling like a certified gangster this card, I like Cam Rowston, you got plus 4,463. Now we're going crazy. Sutherland, Peričić, Nolan, Thicknesse. That one also shits the bed. The D-Gen 5 at the bottom. Man, everything with Sutherland just goes down and out. You can obviously just keep it in, like the pay the rent parlay, and just push it forward without it. It is what it is, though, guys. It's how this game goes sometimes, man. It's how this game goes sometimes. Shit. I hate having to do it like this, but it is what it is. All right, let me just recall some of these lines. Let me see. All right. So without Sutherland, if you just went with Mathews with the likes of Sterling, okay, with the likes of Mr. Jack Jenkins, that 3 plus 142. Then you're like, okay, Louis Sutherland is out. Who do I want? You still want Nolan in there? You believe in the skills that pay the bills is plus 299. And then if you're like, okay, I like Thainara. I think she's a girl with a lot of upside. You want to bet on the ladies fight, plus 462. And if you like Peričić, it's plus 743. So like you can alternate some shit and make it happen. Of course, if you have these parlays already played or anything similar with Sutherland, recognize that it's going to be a push. Like, you're still going to get it. It's just not going to be the same odds. It's going to be as if you never had Sutherland in the first place, but you'll still have the other lines at the same tag that you initially got them at, which is good. You know, is there any other chaos post weigh-in that I'm liking? I mean, if we go just straight balls, you go Thicknesse, Mathews plus 205, and Dom Reyes plus 845. Thicknesse, Mathews, Reyes. It's kind of a good ring to that one. And I feel like it's got a good fighting chance. I like that 3-leg for a little DGen 8-1 money. For a little, you know, I don't even want to call that a pay the rent. That's just a little throwing the caution to the wind and hoping for savagery. But it's a 3-leg with a ton of upside. I like those type of parlays. Then if you threw in Navajo, you got plus 1239, which is a good DGen savage play. Now, if you like that cycle prop parlay at the bottom and you still wanted to stick with something like that, you could change things around. I mean, you could keep, you know, the Thainara wins by decision side. You can keep the Mathews by submission side, which, you know, it's dangerous. Mathews could definitely get a decision. But, you know, I put it in because it is what it is. You got to go balls to the wall with a 3-leg like that. And then if you're like, yo, who gets the KO? Now you got to ask yourself, which fight that you think ends in KO? Navajo, Stirling? Does he seem like the chosen one? Stirling by KO, Thainara decision, and Mathews sub plus 2,333 to replace some things. So if you want to spin some things and change it up, you want to leave them and just let it push, that's up to you. I just want to drop some more for the savages. At the end of the day, bet this shit intelligently. I tell you guys what I'm thinking, line it up with yours. I'm not telling you blindly tell. What I'm doing is telling you, hey, this is kind of where my head's at. And then you put, hey, my head's at here. Then we meet in the middle and make some magic happen, all right? So definitely do your own research if you're throwing money down. If you're throwing a couple bucks, you want to play some DGen shit, different convo. But if you're throwing serious heat down, make sure you're doing your own due diligence too. I love you all. Thank you guys for tuning in. W to the people. Make sure you guys smash the like button. Make sure you guys subscribe to the damn channel. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Turn the post notifications on. I'm live pretty much every day. Content every day without a doubt. Back on business, Jay, man. We got 9 weeks straight of UFC. I'm more than ready for the marathon. We're getting cooking with the first weigh-in show back, and I'm feeling damn good. I appreciate you guys. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the picks. Drop some of your favorites. Definitely drop, you know, some of your sneaky dogs. You agree with some of mine. Definitely drop your main event take if you haven't yet. Did the weigh-in change your mind on any fight? I'm curious. Let me know in the comments down below. And if you got nothing to say in the comments, please enjoy the content. W in the chat to boost the algorithm for your boy. That's it for me. I'll be live for the full card. All right. So see you guys there, 7 p.m. Eastern time, Saturday, which is actually today at the time of this recording. So see you guys soon. Much love. Peace out.